Mana mana. Mana mana. Mana mana.
Hey, this is Paul at Paul Component Engineering, and you have probably heard we have a new crank out. Now, it is new, although there are some labelings of, we're retro grouch. We make square taper because we don't like anything new, because nothing old is any good anymore because you have to buy everything new. But I just want to bring up a couple things. I don't know if anybody out there has seen this. This is the data book. This has pictures of parts currently, incredible innovations today, but no, they've all been thought of before, because the bicycle, one of the beautiful things about the bicycle is it's so very simple. One of the horrible things about engineers is they want to change everything. And I'm an engineer. We all want to change everything. That's what we do. We make new stuff here. But there are some things that are very good and reliable. And I'm not saying we'll never make a crank that isn't square taper, because we will. But this puppy, this square taper onto this, is, you put a bolt in there, you crank it to the torque that you're supposed to take to crank it out, you follow the instructions, you do it right. There is a possibility nobody will ever have to touch that ever again for 1,000 years. I am not kidding. It can be extremely good if there's good materials, good machining, and good fits. It's just works really, really great. And that's what the company's founded on. And so that is what we're into. That is why we're making a square taper crank at this point. We have updated it with a 3-bolt SRAM interface. There are many square taper bottom bracket manufacturers. We're not going to make one. Phil Wood, Promax, White Industries, we don't have. This is a Promax. There is that other company, Shimano, maybe you've heard of them. Their bottom brackets, square taper bottom brackets, are rock solid. And it's a great system. For our crank, if you want to go 2x, to be honest, we haven't figured that out yet. This was designed as a 1x crank. There's a lot of 2x adapters, spiders, and there's spiders for 110, which is great because a lot of us have like a boatload of 110 half worn out chain rings that might as well get all our money out of them on that. But the 2x, if you find some combo that is working great for you, let us know. But we have not gotten that far. That's going to be another program, and it's going to be, it doesn't work, or it works, or this combo works and that combo doesn't work. But we're not promising anything with a 2x. It's up to you, folks. Make that happen if you want it. What else? SRAM 3 bolts. The thing about the square taper, the other thing is these are available in a whole bunch of different lengths, like 103 to, I don't know, Phil makes a 140 or something like that. Like, you can really dial where this, see, this goes on, it does not want to, it gets sticky on there, it does not want to come off. So you can dial where this is going to be. You can get your Q factor, which is this to here, to this side on the outside of the pedal. There's also, you got your clearance right here on your chainstay. You got your pedal clearance on the chainstay. So what you're going to do is you're going to vary the BB length and the offset of the chainring. There's 0, there's -3, and there's -6. Some are very easy to find. I think some of the others are not. But we do have a nice chart here in the instructions and the website, paulcomp.com. Offset of chainring, BB length, and you pick what your chain line, what you want it to be, and we can tell you approximate combo that's going to work good for you. Because everybody's into chain line, and chain lines all over the map these days. 3-bolt SRAM. One thing I did mention is if you use the right materials. This is 2024 aluminum, an alloy of an aluminum from the USA, made in the USA. This comes from aluminum made in the USA. 2024. It's a not cheap alloy. It's very expensive, but it does keep the socket from deforming. Now, old, well, modern, any square taper crank, there's the cheap version. There's always, you know, on the cheap bike, and they are made out of 6061 or some other series of aluminum that's not very strong, and then they get loose because it deforms and it falls off, and that's why we all think the other cranks are better. But really, if you use a very good material, think of your old Campy, your old Stronglight, your Sugino, that socket is rock solid. So we do that, of course. And it's got some classic looks. Grew up loving Campy. I'm that old. Now we've got this purple set here, 3-bolt. The one thing I did want to point out about this is self-extractor. If that is your crank bolt, it is in there. Here's your ring. This ring is permanently, not permanently, but installed by us. We have a special tool that hits all 6. It's in there. So when you loosen, it pushes out against this extractor ring, pulls it off. Don't need any crank puller. If you do, by any chance, need a crank puller, this is your standard crank pulling threads. Someone would have to get off all goobered up for that. But stuff happens. This is a bolt is made out of 17.4 heat-treated titanium. It's not titanium, stainless steel. Do not recommend titanium bolts, maybe on race day if you're weird that way, but titanium is just not 17.4 stainless steel or any other material. Obviously, because of the periodic table of elements, we know that, but titanium is actually like, the softness is halfway between steel and aluminum. People think titanium is the greatest thing ever, but for bolts, it's not reliable. Rock solid. Like race day, go for it. Let's see, I think that about wraps it up here. This is a new crank. Square taper is extremely reliable when you use the proper alloys. 3 bolts, all kinds of offsets, chain lines you can mess with. Yeah, we made this because we just thought it was the best way to do it for us currently, and it is a very good way to do it. Very reliable. Hope you agree. Take a look on the website. Have a good ride. The last part, I was on a roll. We can cut that last part off.